Well, sometimes I think I should rename this channel the "Hey, why don't you grab the camera after you started taking stuff apart on a new project?" Because it's what we do here. So look at this disaster. So my buddy that I work with, he had his trailer at the at our place of work the other day, and sitting in the back parking lot, and our area manager was passing through and saw his trailer sitting there, and they got to chatting about it, and he's like, "Hey, I got one of those too." And I'm like, "Oh, what do you do with it?" And he's like, "Well, I used to pull sled dogs with the thing." And I'm like, "Okay, that's kind of weird for where we live, but apparently it is a thing around here." But he hasn't done it in like 5 or 6 years. And, I'm like, "So what are you going to do with it?" And he goes, "I need to get rid of it." And then I'm like, "Well, how much do you want for it?" And he's like, "Nothing. I just need to get rid of it." So I'm like, "Well, I'll be there as soon as I can." See if I can get a little further back on the dog box. I was hoping to be able to resell the dog box. This used to be mounted on the back of an F-350, but unfortunately said dog box is not Craigslist worthy. It is completely rotten. So we're gonna see if we can run this guy over to the local transfer station and shove it right off the back of the trailer. Of course, the deck's completely rotten. A lot of scaly rust on it. It's going to have to be completely gone over. Make sure that there's absolutely no compromised areas of the frame. Tires are original. They made it home. Fenders haven't been used as bumpers, which is nice because most car trailers, the fenders are destroyed. 18-foot, 7,000-pound all the wiring's going to have to be completely replaced. Much to my surprise, we drug it out of the weeds. It literally had weeds growing up through the frame and the old deck boards. We pulled it out, put my magnet lights on it. I didn't even bother trying to hook up the 7-pin. And we started rolling down the road with it and stopped a couple of times to feel the wheel bearings, and they were stone cold. So 80 miles to home, it made it. The tires survived. They'll all be getting replaced, of course. Isaac's super stoked because we got a free axe out of the dog box. Found the almost new spare tire inside the dog box, which will probably get replaced anyways. But anyways, that's enough rambling for now. Alright, so we managed to get all the bolts out of the dog box, and then we thought we were going to be Billy badasses and just lift this thing, or not even lift it, but just shove it off the back. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm going to say that it probably weighs at least 500 pounds. We even tried moving it, which we did move it with our trusty Washington State rock bar over there. So we're going to systematically tear it apart and do some full-blown demo with the Sawzall. Quick update. We're about an hour and a half into this deal, and we've pretty much just succeeded in making a giant ass mess. And I wouldn't have it any other way. This thing was pretty well built. It's entirely put together with screws, no nails. So once I get the roof panels unscrewed, it's easy to get to all the frame screws and just start knocking walls down. We might make it to the dump yet today. Well, between Isaac and I and the wife, We got this piece of crap cut up to the point where it's light enough to shove off the back of the trailer. I go do that now. I'm already exhausted and I don't want to do it, but I got to get it done. All right there, ladies and germs. The dog box is gone. It's been a super long ass day. Very tired, hurt everywhere. But we got her done. I couldn't film any of the dump part of it because they have a very strict no camera policy or no phone policy. Too many people have gotten themselves ran over there apparently. But anyways, it was pretty interesting feat heaving that thing off the back of the trailer. So one thing I've noticed now that the dog box is gone is an 18-foot deck. It's pretty big. I've never had a trailer that long before. I've only ever used 16-footers. So this will probably be part one. And next step will be getting the deck ripped off and seeing what the true rust damage looks like. It's pretty scaly in here, but I've pounded on it hard with a hammer and a screwdriver, and there's nothing that's even remotely soft. So I'm guessing these frame rails are either 1/4 inch wall or at least 3/16 wall thickness. I gotta cut all of these pins to get these dog box frames off. I was able to get the long ways ones out of there, but I'm done. Not doing no more today. Gotta clean up the rest of this mess in the driveway and get this thing shoved in the backyard. So like I said, we'll call that part one, and part two we'll get the deck off and start going through the rust. But anyways, thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you on the next one.